Hello, everyone. So today we will talk about setting up your home practice space. This is a very important aspect of developing a regular yoga practice at home because we need to have a place where we can roll out the mat and where we can have a bit of quiet time and space to be. So the space doesn't need to be very big. It's enough if you have space for your mat and also a little bit of space around the mat so you can move freely. But if that's not possible, you can go with whatever you have and begin your home practice that way. And one of the really important things about setting up the space is that you feel good in it and that you know that you can be in it without too many interruptions. Obviously, life happens and things will happen. Maybe you will have an interruption, but we want to make sure that if there are other members of the household, for example, maybe you can set up your mat in a room where they normally don't go in. Another challenge that you may encounter is lack of motivation. And I believe that having your space set up and leaving it set up at all times, if possible, can really help with this challenge. So if your mat is rolled out, waiting for you to sit on, then you are more likely to sit on it and do your practice without too much thinking or planning. I actually have my mat rolled out at all times. It's beautiful, and I love it. Love that it's part of my living room as well. So a few other things that I wanted to talk about when you think about setting up your space is that it would be really good if it's set up in a bright space. So obviously, it might not be possible in your house, but if you're choosing, I would really choose to be quite close to a window. You can face the window as well. Normally, when I practice, I face this way because this is where the windows are. Also, I have a river outside, so it's really nice to do the practice facing that way. Also, I would really recommend cleaning your mat before and after use. It just means that you are really taking care of it. This mat is picking up little pieces of dirt and dust, and it really makes me clean my mat every single day. So that's a really good thing, even though it's not such a good thing, but it actually turned into a very good thing. Um, and also, I would really encourage you to turn your practice into a ritual and part of your daily activities. So I would always choose a time that works for you and do it every day at the same time. I really recommend morning practice because it sets you up for the day. If you don't want to practice in the morning, or really this is not the best time for you, then choose another time that works for you. But if you're practicing in the morning, you could just attach it to another thing that you normally do. So, for example, every morning I wake up, I go to the toilet, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, and then I prepare some lemon and ginger water that I drink, and then I sit down on my mat and I begin my practice. So that way it becomes easier. Maybe there's something else that you're already doing, and you can just attach your yoga practice to it. And you can create a ritual by lighting a candle nearby or turning on a little lamp, side lamp, if you have, or maybe lighting an incense. So I have this Buddhist altar over there. You cannot really see the candle, but I always have the candle lit in the morning and an incense. And becomes my space of practice. And you can also have a journal nearby in case you want to write down some reflections afterwards. This is absolutely optional. But these are just some of my recommendations, things that can really help you to get into a habit of having a daily yoga practice. And also, I want to mention that when we talk about having a daily yoga practice, it's not going to be an hour class every single day. Actually, we will start from just a few minutes on the mat because having a yoga practice is essentially about showing up and being present. and we can use the different techniques, the different tools of connecting with our breath and also moving our body in a specific way. But the most important thing is that we show up and that we practice presence. And just to mention a few other things that might get in the way of your practice. So some of the things I already touched on. So maybe there's other members of your household and they might walk into the room where you practice. So if you don't have a separate room where you could be on your own, I would say just let them know that you will practice at this specific time. And as I mentioned, it's going to be a short practice. So hopefully they can understand that these are your needs and this is the time that you need for yourself. Another thing that can get in the way is that maybe you wake up in the morning and turns out that you have less time that you hoped to have, and you have this thing of, oh, I want to do my yoga practice, and maybe there is this moment of, should I do it, should I not do it? So I don't think there is a right or wrong answer when it comes to that. Sometimes life happens and maybe you will have to skip your practice. But I would really encourage to go back to it whenever you can. So if you feel that sitting down on the mat is just going to make you more stressed, more rushed, just leave the practice for that morning and maybe find 5 minutes during your day, maybe at lunchtime, maybe go to a park or maybe in the evening to do the practice. So it's really about allowing yourself to connect with yourself. And if something gets in the way, it's important that we practice kindness towards ourselves as well. And also, another option could be that maybe you are in a rush, but maybe you can do a very short practice. Maybe the practice is just sitting down for 2 minutes, closing your eyes, tuning into your breath, and noticing the emotions, the feelings, the sensations in your body, whatever is going on, because that is also a yoga practice. We are coming into the present moment, we are aware of what's happening, we are not necessarily dragged into it. It helps us to step outside. So you choose if you want to shorten the practice, maybe just sit down for a moment, observe, or maybe you skip it and you do it later on. And if you do skip it, if you skip it for the whole day, don't worry about it. Just do it again the next day. It's not a competition, it's a practice. So my invitation for this week is to set up your space and make an intention for these next 4 weeks when you're going to start with your home practice, and make an intention as well to do it with little steps, so step by step. And as I already said, the most important thing is that you show up for yourself. So yoga practice is a practice of presence rather than reaching a goal in the future. So show up daily, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you back here in 1 week.